Hi everyone, welcome to the webinar. We'll wait for a couple of minutes and there are some people who are still to join and then we'll start. All right. Sunil, are we good to start or we need to wait for a couple of more minutes? All right, thank you. So, welcome everyone. I am the payroll trainer at ZaranTech and we'll be going through a demo around Workday Payroll. Very brief, we will discuss about how does Workday Payroll look like? But apart from that, we'll be discussing more about what all concepts we will be covering as part of this course, right? If you decide to, join this course, what what's the, expected outcome that you can expect and what is the level of understanding that you will be getting? What will be the different touch points that we will be covering during the course? And we'll also talk about some industry point of view. How is Workday, payroll disrupting the market? What is Workday payroll to start with? What is Workday as an HCM? And then we will be, opening up for any questions that you have, right? So this is what the agenda looks like. Will discuss about what the course is offering, and we will, talk about Workday payroll. We will discuss, some very high level areas of Workday payroll that we will be discussing. The introduction, the payroll framework, how does an earning and a deduction look like? How does Workday UI look like? We will talk about, job trends and salary trends, and then what other offerings, ZaranTech offers from a learning perspective. So to introduce myself, as I said, my name is Jay, and I am an independent Workday consultant for almost, 10 years. I've been in Workday payroll across multiple ERPs, and now, sitting comfortably with Workday payroll for last 10 years. I have experience around for, 15 plus payroll implementations end to end, right from design phase to configuration, testing, and, hypercare and life support. I had a chance to work across all the industries, retail, CPG, healthcare, technology, all those kind of companies. And so far, I guess I've coached around 60 to 70, people, although that number is a little outdated, but yeah. So about this course. So this course is specifically designed to expose you to Workday payroll. Now, we will in subsequent slides we will talk about more what is Workday, what is Workday payroll, how does a Workday ERP look like, what are different modules. But if we talk about this course here, we will be, understanding the fundamentals of Workday payroll. When any company, buys Workday as a product for its, HCM suite, and they have payroll also in scope, what does a normal implementation looks like, right? How do you start an implementation? What are different phases of implementation? And what is the sequence of configuration that you as a implementation consultant would do? We will understand what are different types of earnings and deductions. We will talk about, federal, state, and local level of tax reporting. And we will talk about, withholding orders, which are basically your court orders. We will understand what does a banking and settlement look like, right? How do you set up a bank? How do you settle a payroll? When you settle a payroll, what are, different post settlement things happen inside, a system? We will see from a payroll perspective what are different kind of, securities, domains, and functional areas which impact payroll area. And then we will understand what are different business processes around Workday. Okay. Prerequisite. So basic level of understanding of HR processes is a good to know, right? When I say what a basic knowledge of human resources, basically how does onboarding process for an employee looks like, right? From a hire to fire, what are different phases of, you know, human capital management touch points an employee has, in any ARP. You hire an employee, you onboard them to their, organization. From a payroll standpoint, what are different? elements that you need, right? You need them to, give their bank account details where you can, submit their salaries. They need to, tell you what are their tax selections, right? So that they can be taxed accordingly. So a basic knowledge of how the overall journey looks like is a good to know. But again, that's not a showstopper, right? I started my HCM journey as a tech graduate, right? I did not have that basic level of HR knowledge. So that's just a prerequisite. But yeah, I've seen people do pretty well, even from different areas of, yeah, right? So it will be an added advantage if a trainee has experience in HR and recruitment. Again, a prerequisite, it gives you a little, broader horizon of understanding, how are different HCM touch points, how do they look like? But again, this is, I mean, just a prerequisite. Who should take up this course? Individuals who want to build their career in HRMS technology, right? Now, if we talk about, we have spectrum of ERPs that cater to MS. We have Oracle, we have SAP, we have Workday, we have, Kronos, ADP, all those kind of platforms. Every company, somewhere or the other, need HCM ERP system, HCM system to, cater to these requirements, right? So this course will not only benefit you from a Workday payroll perspective, but it will give you the entire knowledge of how a payroll implementation looks like, even in, other ERPs. See, here we will talk about Workday specifically, but the overall concept, right, will remain the same. There is a basic level of payroll processing framework which is common in all ERPs, right? There are earnings and deductions, which are again common in all other ERPs. Of course, there are some nitty gritties around how a SAP functions versus how a Workday functions versus how Oracle functions. But the basic level of, payroll understanding, the terminologies, the processes, the overall flow of data, that essentially remains the same. So it is going to be a very good, you know, learning experience if you take up this course. Okay. And people who are looking to start their journey in HR or, finance management in any ERP side of things, this will be added course for you. Professionals interested to start their careers in IT or consulting, MBA graduates looking to, start their career in HCM. So what are the training benefits if you do this course from us, right? So I have been with other training institutes who provide Workday payroll training. And let me tell you, the level of exposure, freedom in terms of tenant access, in terms of collateral, PPTs, study materials, question banks for your certification preparation, right? These all are, the level of quality of ZaranTech that offers is, outmatched. So we have specially designed question banks that help you, clear your payroll certifications. We even connect you to, our partners who can help you get certified. And, Abhi will talk more about that in back end of this training, how we, support your payroll certification as well. And you get a dedicated tenant access throughout this course timeline where you have that access to that tenant 24/7. You can explore as much as you can, right? It's a full blown tenant with, with full access. You can create whatever the trainer does with you during the classes. You have full. I would request everyone to please go on mute. And if you have any questions, just, raise your hands. Thank you so much. So yeah, the tenant is, absolutely dedicated to you 24/7, right? You get recorded sessions. I mean, the all the training sessions that we do are recorded and hosted on our learning management system, and you have access to them, across your duration, right? So you can access those videos anywhere you are, from your phones, from your laptops, anywhere you want to refresh that. And we have, specially designed lab activities. We have, knowledge check questionnaires. So you will get a, full blown experience from how a implementation looks like, right? With that, Let's talk about what is Workday. Okay. So Workday is cloud-based HCM system, right? Human capital management system. And it caters to your HRMS needs, right away from hiring an employee, onboarding it, asking them to do, mandatory training, filling out all those forms, choosing benefit elections, giving them compensation, right? Processing their payrolls, and from hire to fire, right? Even when you terminate, you have those post termination activities that you. So it's a full blown HCM platform hosted on a cloud, and it was founded in 2005 by the founders of PeopleSoft, right? Anil Bushri and David Duffield, right? It is right now the leading human capital management system. So if you look at the next slide, which is a Gartner's Magic Quadrant, you will see Workday is right there in the leaders quadrant, right? There has been a lot of updates and a lot of enhancement that Workday has done, especially in payroll. And from a compliance perspective, and I've worked across different ERPs on payroll, right? Not just Workday. And when I switched to Workday and when I spent a couple of years, I realized that the kind of a robust system that Workday has built, it has outmatched competitors like SAP and the Oracles. Okay, from a compliance perspective, if I talk about right, just to give you an example, Workday's compliance updates are so robust and on time that even the likes of SAPs do a certain update in 3 to 4 months after those, updates have been given by the IRS. But Workday deploys it then and there, right? So every Friday there is your tenants, your systems go into maintenance, right? There's a weekly maintenance, and all those features that have come across, right, get deployed on the production environment. Twice every year, Workday has feature releases, which it calls as R1 release and R2 release, and all the big deployments, right? All the major impacting deployments are done across these two areas, R1 and R2. That is twice a year. But apart from that, you have weekly updates also. So if your taxes are changing, if some state is, introducing new taxes, or they are changing some laws on your taxable wages, or the percent of, withholding, you don't have to worry about, is your system ready? But is your system, complying with the state authorities or federal authorities? Workday will deliver those updates for you automatically. All right. And it delivers a lot of good reports which you can run to see what are the updates, right? Because in US we have, right, 50 states, hundreds of cities, counties, localities. It is very hard to track where is, which city, which state, which tax authority is making an update, right? So you have a very beautiful dashboard and detailed report which give you day by day update on the compliance side, on the tax side, that have been made by the tax authorities, and when was the date that Workday deployed that, into their systems. So that, that basically keeps Workday apart, miles apart, I would say, from its competitors. Now let's talk about a little about, what is a Workday payroll, right? So Workday Payroll, as I said, is a cloud-based payroll solution designed to handle all aspects of payroll processing, right? So right from creating your pay group, segmenting your population in different kind of pay group, depending on if it is a weekly pay group, if it is a bi-weekly pay group, if it is a semi-monthly pay group, you can create those. You can create your own period schedules. How do you want to pay your employees? You can create n number of earnings and deductions. You can set up so your company may not be, let's say, for a small enterprise that is limited to only one or two states. So you have good flexibility to set up your company in any state that you want, right? If we talk about a MNC, that probably would be, spread across multiple states. So from a taxation standpoint, it is just a click away if you want to set up your company taxes in a particular state versus setting up your company across all states and all taxes, right? So from tax standpoint, and it's a very easy front end methodology of telling which company belongs to which state and which taxes are applicable to those employees working in those companies, right? It integrates seamlessly with the HCM module and also with the downstream, like your ledgers and your financial management systems. It integrates very nicely, right? Seamlessly. Now, let's quickly go and look at how Workday system looks like, okay? So this is my Workday tenant, and I'll just log in to show you how the overall UI looks like and how we process any payroll or what are different elements. So just give you a look and feel. So this is our training tenant, and you will also have the same access to the same tenant. Okay. So to people who are new to Workday, so this is how your home screen looks like. On the left hand side, you have a menu of all those delivered features which you can directly go from as a shortcuts. You have the search box which you will use most often if you want to search for any report, if you want to search for any task, if you want to search for any integration, if you want to search for any employee, you can do it directly from here. So I will just show you one of the employees. So this is our test employee, Victor. So when you open an employee, this is how it looks like, right? The first page, it gives you high level details about the employee, right? What is the employee ID, which location this employee is based on, and what is, his position, business title, job profile, all those things, right? Now, if I want to go to payroll, I go here, we have the pay option, and you will see again a number of options here, results. So in this section, you will see what are the payroll results which are either in progress or have been completed in past, right? So if you see, I have two or three basically payroll results. So this is a November 4 to November 10, which is in a complete state, right? That means this payroll is already completed and employee got paid, right? The amount. This is their gross pay, $21.53. This is their taxes, $576. And this is their net pay. Okay. So this is how a completed payroll look like. Then you have a pay group section, which shows you which pay group this employee belongs to. So this employee belongs to ZT Weekly 1 pay group, and the frequency of the pay group is weekly, right? And similarly, you have other sections as well. This will show you pay inputs if that person has some pay input sitting with it. Pay slips, it will show you all the pay slips that this employee has for the completed payrolls. What are the tax elections for the employees? If that employee has any court orders or withholding orders, what are the payment elections? What are the bank account details of this employee and costing allocations? If there are custom costing that has been configured for this employee, right? So if you open one of the payrolls, this is how a normal payroll for any employee looks like, right? So you have a gross to net section which gives you all the earnings, all the hours and the amounts that this employee has, right? Then what are the taxes that this employee is paying, right? So he's paying the Medicare tax, the federal tax, right? What are the taxable wages, gross wages, all those kind of things. This employee is working out of Illinois, so he's paying Illinois taxes as well. So you get to know all the gross to net details, earnings, deductions, and taxes from this section. This is how payroll result look like into the system. You see this employee has a 2153.62 dollars of gross, and he has after his pre-tax deductions and other deductions and taxes, he gets the 1576.71 net pay. This is the amount that this employee gets paid. You see, the pay calculation is completed and it has also been sent to the accounting. Okay? And settlement is also approved. That means the details have been sent to the bank to pay this employee what he's owed, right? So $1,576, the data has been sent to the bank for the payment, right? That's what settlement means. right? So this is how. Feel free to, ask any questions.
Yeah. So, am I audible to you, Ajay?
Yes, yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So, I'm basically experienced in core HCM.
All right.
I worked for a few years in Workday. For me, I'm just interested to learn payroll, but I'm not sure if this is, end to end, it will be like a full-fledged career. So, what are your thoughts for somebody who wants to, they should stick around with core HCM, or is it just a nice skill to have, or how big of a lift is it for them to get into payroll?
I'll give you an honest answer. Okay. I started my career as a benefits consultant,
Mhm.
and then I moved in. I started, working slowly into payroll, and I started my career not in Workday. Okay. So I was in a different ERP, different HCM module different HCM product where I started my HCM journey. To answer your question, right, Workday payroll is considered to be a hot skill module, right? It is one of the most critical modules where you get the least number of resources. So if we talk about the supply and the demand, right, there is a huge demand for payroll resources across companies, right? Starting from, so let's understand the job market for a minute, and we have a dedicated slide for it. So where does Workday knowledge, person who has a Workday knowledge get absorbed? So one is all these implementation partners, right, who implement Workday for anybody who has any company who has bought Workday. You have the big fours, the IT companies like Accenture, IBM, right, who implement Workday, right? So there is a huge demand for implementation consultants in these partners, right? Then second is companies who have gone live, they need good resources, good knowledgeable resources who know the product, who know the module, who know the payroll module to help themselves, to process the payrolls, or to look after the issues, or to guide them after they have went live. And I also do recruiting for my, the company that I work for, and we all always have a deficit of payroll consultant, right? So to answer your question, it is absolutely the right time to get into payroll. The only thing with payroll is it needs some time to master it, right? And that's probably true with any of the modules, right? Because there are a lot of compliances, there are a lot of things that you need to know, right? How does the overtime work, right? What is overtime rule? What is, different types of pre-tax and post-tax retirement deductions? How do they work? What are those limits? How does a, tax system work? Because taxation in US is quite complex, right? So to
Mhm.
understand those things, you need one or two implementations or projects to do. But once you are done, right? I mean, sky is the limit. Go to LinkedIn, look at all those recruiters who are, hiring for working roles, and you will see everybody's, everybody's looking for payroll people. The supply is very limited and the demand is huge because
So,
there is a some level of learning curve in payroll that needs to be there, and where there are very limited number of experienced and knowledgeable payroll resources. And
so
you coming from HCM, you have an added, advantage because you understand the HCM side of things. So it becomes easy to, connect and start learning payroll. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah. So how about the advance compensation? Is that necessary prerequisite for this? Because
No, there is, to be honest, there is, you just need to have some basic level of HCM understanding. You should know, okay, what is a company, what is a pay, what is a job profile, what is a cost center, right?
Mhm.
What is organization assignments, those kind of things. I think that's all.
Okay.
Rest, I think we anyways teach this course from very basic, right? We start with the core payroll. We'll tell you what is a pay group, what is a period schedule. I mean, we do learn from basics. So advanced compensation absolutely not necessary. You just need
And
to
how
know what is
long?
a compensation.
Yeah, how long is this cohort gonna be,
So
until start to finish?
we go the motive is you should learn, right? So we go at a very, I would say not slow pace, but at a pace where everybody understands. So this probably takes around 7 to 8 weeks to complete, because we do 4 days a week and almost, I guess, 90 minutes. And this is a 47-hour course. So we cover core payroll, which is, the core or the basics of payroll, right? Like your pay group, period schedules, and those kind of things. And then we move into US payroll, where we talk specifically about things dedicated to US payroll, like your overtimes, your tax setup, your withholding orders, right? Those, I would say, advanced level of payroll. So it takes 7 to 8 weeks.
Thank you. And the timing is same, right?
Yes, timing is there.
Okay, thanks.
One, yeah, please go ahead.
Hi. So about me, like I come from a finance background, but I have no experience in Workday. I'm like getting into the like I'm new to it, but as you have said, like all the taxation and other things, I'm aware of it because of my past work experience. Like I have worked in accounting and auditing and taxation because of my studies and experience.
Mhm.
So when it comes, like I want to switch into Workday because I see how the market is booming for Workday and everything. So I want to switch now, and I'm trying to explore more courses and everything. So is there any like certification I can do or in any aspect or anything so that I can land in a job quickly in Workday?
Yes. So Workday provides module level certification. So you can go for, payroll certification. The only thing is you need to be working with one of the service partners of Workday to be eligible to sit for those certifications. Okay. So anybody who wants to get certified cannot get certified technically, because Workday has some tight, restrictions on that. So anybody who is working for their partners, they only can go and get certified. So this course is, so as I said, right, we have two portions of this course. We spend around 20 to 30 hours on core payroll, okay, which stays
Mhm.
same for it's a country agnostic, right? So that
Right.
basic level of structure of payroll will be same for all the countries, but then we start, diving into payroll, US payroll, where we talk specifically about. So this is we'll not be covering Australian payroll, but I from what I've heard and I've not worked on any Australian project, to be honest, but if you master US, because that's the most complex, payroll countries, I don't think Australian would be a challenge. And we have, on Workday community, there are a lot of Australian payroll resources which can help you, to learn specifically about Australian payroll.
Okay. Okay.
And
No
in our
worries.
last batch, in fact, we had a couple of folks who were, from Australia and working in Australian companies, and they gained
Mm.
significant knowledge from what we learned.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
All right, thanks,
I
Pushkar. So let's.
I have a small question. Am I
Right.
audible?
Yeah, you are.
Okay, you said that this course is covering the payroll, and then you will be jumping into the US payroll as well. That this course is covering the payroll as well as the US payroll, right?
Correct. So then what we call in Workday is core payroll, and the core payroll is your basic layer of payroll, like how to create a earning, how to create a deduction, how to create a pay period, pay what is a run category. So those kind of the pillar or the framework of a payroll, okay? And then on top of that, we start country specific things, right? For UK, how does taxation changes? How does, retirement deductions change? For Canada, there are different retirement deductions. There's a different tax setup that needs to be done specifically, right? So it's a 60-65% it's core payroll, and then 30-35% it is US specific payroll.
Okay. Yeah, there I wanted to ask you a few things. So
Yeah.
you said that when you are covering the US payroll, so are you covering the complete year-end process, W2 generation, W2 seeker, W2C generations, configuring pay stubs, means a third party transmit, like bank transfer, all those things, everything will be covered in this one?
So our main focus in this is from a functional point of view, right?
Yeah,
From a how does
because
a
of
functional
this
yeah.
no, W2 generation,
Yes, correct,
W2C generation, everything is functional only, right? That
correct,
is all
correct. So
belongs to
we
functional part.
yeah, correct. So we will look at how you can, how do you set up the box setup, right, for W2, how you map
Yes,
different earnings and
earnings. Yeah,
deductions to
we need to
yeah,
configure that one, because of
correct,
every
correct,
year we will have a new earnings deductions will be added that need to be mapped into the W2 generation. On the
that's
top of
right,
it, when it goes
that's
to
right,
first
Ken.
time, we normally need to configure the pay stub and transfer file to third party generation, like if a bank file transfer. This is all part of the functional activities.
That's
So
right.
that's
That's right. Ken. Yeah. But we will not be talking about or developing the integrations, all right? We will
mm,
we will see after you settle a payment, how does a ACH
SH file.
integration
Yes.
take the ACH file to the bank, right? How do
Mm,
you map the ACH integration, check print layout integrations to your settlements, right? We will see those
mm.
kind of linking of integration with functional payroll. But if you talk specifically about how do you design a ACH integration or how do you design a third party payroll integrations, that is out of the scope. So we will be talking about the functional setup, the year end, how do you create W2, how do you map the box, how do you generate the W2 forms, what are the dashboards that help you do that. We will see in the settlements how you do the ACH. After you do the settlement, how does the ACH file transfers? How do you link the ACH? That's all covered in the course.
Oh, okay. This is all covered in this course. Okay.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, because of I have payroll background,
Yeah.
functional background. That's why I'm asking you these questions. So
Perfect.
that's what, because of this is a vast subject.
Yeah, exactly. So see,
I
this is
know.
just a 47 hours course, right? So there is a limited. So our focus is the population, the people who are learning this. Their basics should be solid. So they should know what are the different elements of payroll, and then we do talk about a lot of advanced concepts. And W2 W2C is considered to be one of the
Hello, are you there?
we do touch upon those topics. All right.
Vijay? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So if we talk about what all countries Workday supports on payroll, so when I started my career, we just had US and Canada, but then UK came in, France came in, Australia came in, and recently Ireland Ireland payroll is also supported by Workday, right? And the list is ever increasing. So Workday is going all out in the payroll space, and it's not a it's not a surprise. It will not be a surprise if you see a couple of more countries added to this list. So again, the demand for payroll is ever increasing. And if you are a you and out of these six countries, right, 80 to 85% of Workday's payroll space comes from United States of America, because that is the biggest market. So yeah, and I guess if you master US, I guess any other country is not that complex. Every country has some special characteristics. Like Canada has a different retirement deductions and some detailing there. United Kingdom had in national minimum wages, that kind of that peculiarity. And France, Australia, Ireland, I mean, they have their own difficulty level, but US stands out just because of his if it's tax structure and all those, and with new legislation coming up, right? So I'm not sure whether you have heard there is a Secure 2.0 that has come in recently, effective 2026, that is gonna, have a big impact on the retirement deductions, right? The 401ks, pre-tax, post-tax. Then there is a talk about the big fat bill, those kind of things, right? So US is the most complex payroll space. There's a lot of compliance, there are a lot of changes that happen, and you have to be, on top of with all those changes. So from a payroll touch point, if we talk about, right, so payroll sits in the middle of the overall HCM space, right? So we have upstream modules, we have compensation, we have HCM, we have absence, time tracking benefits, which sends input to payroll, right? So compensation will send the comp related details. What is the compensation? What is the base rate of the employee? What is the bonus plan details of those employees, right? Those kind of things. HCM will send what is the job profile, which company the employee belongs to, those kind of organizational level thing. Absence time tracking will send you the time data, right? How many hours this employee has worked, on which time code he has worked, has he worked overtime, has he worked regular hours, was he on an absence, right? Did he take a time off? How many hours time off that employee took, right? Those all that data comes from time tracking and the absence module. Then benefit. What all benefit plan this employee has? What are the premiums that this employee is supposed to pay for those plans, right? Dental, medical, vision, accidental death, life insurance, right? Your STD, LTD, all those kind of benefit plans. So that data also comes from benefit. So you have all those upstream modules that are feeding in data for an employee into the payroll engine. Then payroll engine will take all this data depending on the configuration that you have done, right? What kind of earnings deductions you have set up. It will process the payroll, right? It will generate the result. It will generate what is the gross wages, what are the total deductions, what are the total taxes, and then what is the net payment that has to be made to the employee. Then once you complete and settle the payroll, there are downstream modules that get data from payroll, right? Like your finance system, like your banking and settlement, right? So the banking and settlement will eventually send that data to the bank for the payments to happen. Your finance and accounting systems have to be updated, right? Your ledgers have to be updated, account postings have to be done, right? So these are your downstream modules which fetch data from payroll and updates. So this is how Workday's the touch point look like for payroll module. If we talk about sources of payroll data, so we have employee master data, name, address, social security, job title, department, address. Address plays a very crucial role because address of the employee, both resident address and worker address, determine the taxation, right? Compensation plan. What is the base salary? What is the hourly rate? If this person is eligible for bonuses, commissions, allowances, that comes from your compensation. Time tracking, as we discussed, shares or sends data around hours worked, absence, overtime, and time offs. And then you have tax withholding elections, your federal, state, local tax forms, your withholding status, those kind of things. Benefit elections, we talked about those premiums. Then you have withholding orders, right? So interchangeably, some people call it as court orders, some people call it as withholding orders. So these are garnishments, which are court orders, and employee has to pay certain amount from their paychecks to those third party recipients, and eventually that gets paid to the final whom the money is owed, like your spousal support, child support, your bankruptcy, tax levies, all those kind of things, right? So there is a detailed discussion that we do on withholding orders. How to set up withholding orders? What are different types of withholding orders? Those kind of things. Payment elections. Payment elections are basically how does the employee wants the payment to happen? Does he want a check or does he want a bank account transfer, right? If he wants a bank account transfer, then you have to have the bank account details in the system. So that setup, right? There's a whole lot of setup that has to be done around payment election. And then yeah, payment payroll input. You can override your payrolls with pay inputs, which override any data that has come from other sources. So these are basically source of a payroll data. And so basically high level we have six sections of payroll, right? From a configuration standpoint, we have a payroll processing framework, right? Which is your pay group, period schedules, and run categories. Then you have earnings and deductions. You have accumulations and balances. So these are buckets, right? accumulations and balances are basically buckets of different kind of earnings and deductions. Basically, you sum up them across different balance periods. For example, if you want a year-to-date balance, quarter-to-date balance, month-to-date balance, or any custom balance period that you want to create. Auditing and reporting. So Workday delivers a lot of standard audit and other reports which you can run and check. For example, for arrears, how many employees have, outstanding arrear balances? You can run a report. There is a delivered report. If what are the, employees who are missing tax selections, missing pay groups, those kind of audit reports are already there. Workday has a very good repository of these audit reports. Accounting and compliance. You have compliance dashboards, as I said, which gives you real-time data of what are the compliance updates that have been made recently to the system, right? Has there been a tax rate change, taxable wages change, brackets have changed on taxable wages, those kind of things. New taxes have come up. So you have a compliance dashboard which give you view on those critical stuff. Then there is an employee self-service. So through employee self-service, employees can do a lot of, things on their own. So the payroll administrators do not have to, overburden themselves. For example, choosing payment elections, choosing tax elections, right? Those kind of things employee can easily do with their self-service. And this is where, what all things we cover in our training, right? So payroll overview, again, very basic core concepts. How does a tax setup look like? The tax setup overview. What is a payroll input, right? Then what are withholding orders? What are retros and off-cycle processing? So retro is basically anything that you missed in prior period, but you want to still process with backdated entry. So those are known as retro payments, right? Off-cycle processing is basically if you want to pay an employee out of their normal on-cycle paycheck, you can run off-cycle anytime and you can pay those employees. So we talk about what is off-cycle processing, different type of off-cycles that are present at Workday. Then framework configuration. Basically, the pay period, pay groups, and the run categories. Then we talk about the payroll calculation engine. Workday has a different setup of different types of calculations that you can create: arithmetic, aggregate, instant value, value comparison, all those kind of calculations, which we will learn each type of calculation, right? Then different flavors of earnings and deductions. We will talk about that in detail. Accounting setup, we will see how does an accounting setup has to be done, right? And then banking and settlement, how does a bank account is set up and how you settle a payroll. All right. And then, of course, career guidance on certification, on job and interviews. That's again a part of this course. So we have already talked about the benefits of Workday payroll, very high focus on compliance and very high focus on the efficiency and the efficiency of the system, right? So even if you are processing payroll for 200,000, 300,000 employees, Workday processes them flawlessly. So if you look at Fortune 500 companies, right, I can assure you more than 50% of them are on payroll, right? I mean, if you talk about the Walmarts, the AT&Ts, I mean, they are seamlessly, integrated with Workday. And I mean, they would have easily have employees more than 200, 300K, and they are, processing their payrolls in just minutes in Workday. So the system is very robust and efficient in terms of handling high level data. Right? I think this is how we have talked about a lot about the processing framework. Right? So these are the core elements: the period schedules. Right? When does the payroll has to be run? The start date, end date, and payment date. Right? Then the run category, which is the brain of Workday payroll, right? Which lets you configure what do you want to process, how do you want to process that kind of thing. And then the pay group, basically you segment your population in different pay groups, right? Depending if there are bi-weekly people, weekly people, semi-monthly, so that kind of thing. So this is how a payroll processing framework look like. And we will very start from the basic. We will see how to configure each of these things. Yeah. again, the same payment election, earning deductions, and that. So with this, I think we have covered essentially what are the different elements or different things that we will be learning across this module. So we will, as I said, right, we will be focusing 60 to 65% of the time on core payroll, where we will talk about the processing framework, the tax setups, payment elections, earnings and deductions, right? Your accounting setup, those kind of thing. And then on the 35% of the side, 30-35, we will then deep dive into US specific legislation, US specific taxes and overtime, retirement deductions, withholding orders, that kind of discussion and configuration. So now I am open to question, and then we will take up and talk about different the salary trends, job market, and the certification related questions if anybody would have. So yeah, open for questions, folks.
You are telling that one, we know that one, in order to do the payroll benefit, so in order to complete the payroll, we need to have time and benefit need to be coming into the picture. So that that time will be, will the Workday can handle in-house, or it has to be a third-party time
So Workday
system?
has it. Workday has
as
its
well.
own.
Okay.
Yeah. Workday has its own time tracking module,
Okay.
absence module, which if the customer has bought, they can use and it integrates seamlessly with payroll. But even if someone has a third party like ADP or Kronos, for
Kronos,
that
yes.
we have integrations which send time data to Workday payroll.
Okay. Same about the benefit.
That's right. That's right. Mostly, I've seen people
Will
go
we have the flexibility to
in-house.
handle benefit
Absolutely.
in-house, or it has
Absolutely.
to be third
It,
party?
it is a full-blown benefit module that we have at Workday. But again, if someone is having a third-party system or some data is coming directly, let's say,
Yeah, of
right?
course. If it is
Yeah,
a third party, no hassle. Whatever you get it, just get it added into then run the payroll. That's what. But if it is
absolutely.
in-house, it is going to be a big challenge. That's why I asked you.
Yeah, in-house is there. So
In-house, we have in-house. Okay.
yeah. Next, anybody?
Again, one more question. You are telling that one we need to see after payroll, we need to complete the FI GL transfer, right? So the GL transfer is happening from payroll side or from the finance side?
It's basically from the finance side, Ken.
Okay.
There's a so Workday
So
also has
once
a
we have integrated our payroll with the GL for all the pay
correct.
components.
Correct.
Components
So
is
we
to the GL. Then
yes.
that's it. We don't do any GL like a finance transfer. That
No,
happens
no,
from the
correct.
finance side.
So yes, that's right. So the most important aspect from a payroll side is you need to map each earning, each deduction, each tax to a general ledger, right?
No, that's it.
And
Okay.
once you complete the payroll,
Yeah.
counting is, job is, background job is, run each after each recalculation that you do, and the ledgers are updated.
Oh, okay. So basically, we have to run the batch job.
Correct.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. That's it.
Sure, go ahead.
Same with the tax as well, right?
You mean tax integration, quarterly integration?
Yeah. Tax also we need to be quarterly integration. We need to run the tax file,
That's
right?
right. But yes, you have to run that tax file manually, okay? Or you can schedule it. Yeah. So that has to be kicked off whenever you want to send. Yeah, Pushkar, go ahead, please.
Yeah, so the certification that will not be specific to any legislation, right? That will be basically based on the core payroll engine and stuff like that, isn't it?
No, so that's you have to go for a country specific certificate. So if you want to,
Okay. Okay.
certify for US payroll or UK payroll, right? That way.
Okay. Okay. And the access to the module, like, in payroll, I believe you'll have to try and run a couple of payrolls, to be, change configuration and do and stuff like that. So the access to the tenant for us to practice, how long is that provision for?
It is essentially for the course duration, but with the nominal fee, you can get an extended access to that.
Okay.
push. Normally during the training period, we give it to you for 2 months. If anybody needs a separate tenant, monthly wise, we charge $149. If somebody is going for 6 months, we charge like $657, and yearly subscription is also there. And the tenant, what we give it to you, that's a dedicated tenant which we can use it for 24/7 with a dedicated user ID and password. Everybody will be getting the individual login credentials. It's not a shared tenant, and you can practice payroll, finance, integration, HCM, studio, all this, training modules. Same tenant.
That's great. Yeah. Are you going to touch upon when the course
What
is going
is
to
the fees
start?
you
And
told? Sorry, I'm sorry to jump in between. Sorry.
yeah,
Carry
I
on.
mean, I just wanted to know the details about when the training is going to start and what will the timings be, because as I said, I'm in Australia, so I'll have to see if I can basically that match up to the timings as such.
Well, we will be following Monday to Thursday, 8 p.m. Chicago time. So that like you have attended, right? So it's the same timing only. We are going to follow the same schedule. It's Monday to Thursday, 8 p.m. CST. And people who are joining from India, it will be Tuesday to Friday, morning 7:30 a.m. IST.
And how long is that? 1 hour, is it?
See, the overall duration of the training is 47 hours. So, it depends on the trainer. I mean, some day it can be 1.5 hours, some day it will be 2 hours. That's how we can finish the training within 2 months of time frame.
Okay. And in case, say, for example, not able to attend a day or so, will those training recordings
Yes,
be
yes,
available?
yes. So I think, Ajay, have you shown them the training LMS any chance?
I'm just gonna share.
Okay. So basically, whoever enrolled for this training program, any training program, we create a training LMS. Okay. And in that only, all the meetings which will be conducting, right? The session gets recorded, and the session recordings will be updated in the training LMS itself, which you can go through at any point of time and number of times, and you'll be having the access to the training LMS for 1 year.
Okay. And when are we planning to start this training?
Next week, Thursday, we are starting the batch.
Thursday, and it will go on over. Sorry, so if you say 1 hour every day, or
Not 1 hour. Payroll definitely. I believe, Ajay, it will be like 1.5.
It will be minimum 90 minutes, and we
Okay. So
even
yeah, so I'm
2 hours.
just trying to plan it ahead. And how
Yeah.
if it start next week, that's mid of November. So do you think we'll be able to end it by what, December this year, or we'll go to spill over into Jan?
No, see, to be honest, because it's payroll is, it's not a shorter duration. It's 47 hours. That's how the actual Workday training also. I mean, see, we follow the same content what Workday follows. Okay, so the actual training duration for US payroll is 47 hours, and we follow the same. So definitely, if in case we are starting next week, so it will be going till January, because payroll you cannot finish it within 1 month of time frame.
And the idea, Pushkar, is we do not want to rush. Okay, so that's again. Is it clear? Does it answer your question, Pushkar? All right. So this is how a LMS looks like. Are you able to see my screen, folks? Can someone just confirm?
Yes.
So this is how a learning management system, the run text looks like. So you have, the all those contents, right? All the materials, all the deck PPTs that we will discuss in the session. You will all have all the PPTs hosted here. All the assessments will be there. So we basically have 10 modules, all right, across which 10 to 11 modules across which we cover all those topics that we discussed. You have assessments for all the modules, and you have lab activities as well for all those modules. All right. So everything is hosted on this LMS, and you have access to it, across. I guess Abhi, what's the time duration for which they have access to the LMS?
1 year.
Right.
1 year.
So from the course start date till 1 year, you have access to this system. All right. All the video recordings of all the sessions are hosted here as well. All right. So you can access, even if you missed, let's say, 1 or 2 sessions, you can come back here and access the recording for that session, right?
And it will be uploaded with the topic names also. You can see.
Right. So session wise, you will have the recording here. So from content to video recordings and all those, so this is your one top solution, right? All the learning needs. You want to take up the certification part?
Yes. I will explain. Okay, everyone, I think we have shared you a couple of document links in your chat window. I hope everybody has received it. if you can go through. So I'm going to share my screen and explaining you the cohort. Okay, just a second. So since I think everybody has received this cohort, one second, let me minimize screen once. Yep.
Yes, we are able to see.
Yeah. So this is the cohort, specifically we always prepare like any particular training module. Like we, as we mentioned, like I mean in my previous discussion, like I was explaining, right, that we do have a lot of training modules in Workday, okay, starting from Workday HCM. I mean, whatever training content, what Workday delivers, we have all these training modules, okay. And right now, ZaranTech is not an official partner, but yes, we are tied up with a few Workday partner companies. One of them is PeopleFlow. Okay, so they are the innovation partner, and recently we got tied up with Sinosure. Okay, so they are the basically AMS partner, I will tell you. Okay, Sinosure Technologies. So Sinosure is a company where people, if somebody is looking out for the Workday certification, they can help you in getting certified, as well as if somebody is looking out for placement job opportunities also, they can help you in that also. Okay, so that's how ZaranTech is basically giving an option, an opportunity where we are opening the door for all the participants without having any work experience in Workday. Okay, you can go for the certification directly, since everybody knows that the standard process to go for the certification is, I'll just show you. Okay. See, normally you have to work with a Workday partner company. Okay. I think Ajay also mentioned initially. And then only you can go for the official certification from Workday. And you cannot pay from your pocket, because the actual training which Workday charges, that is 4,400 US dollar. Okay. Which we are charging you 699. Okay. Now the certification cost remains the same always, which is 800 US dollar for one credit. Okay, in that particular certification, after this training, okay, definitely everybody is going to go for this certification only, which is called as the Workday Pro US Payroll Services Certification. Okay, so you can see here basically there are two certification. One is for the payroll for administrators. Okay, but main exam is this one, Workday Pro US Payroll Certification. Okay, for separate countries, different countries, I can show you the list here. So for example, if it is for US, it is US Payroll Services, UK, Canada, Australia, France. So it is like that. So separate countries, different countries will be having a different certifications. Okay, so which will, it's the same. See, Workday certification always cost $800 only, which will give you one credit. Basically, that is one training unit, one attempt. Okay, it's a proctored exam which will be conducting, and that remains the same for all the Workday modules. If you talk about HCM, if you talk about integration, if you talk about payroll, finance, always it remains the same only. $800 for one credit, one training unit. Okay, so right now ZaranTech is giving you an opportunity, okay, where without having any experience in Workday, directly after taking the training, you can go for the certification. Okay, I think somebody has raised a hand. Kennedy, we can go ahead. You have any questions, Kennedy?
No, it was by mistake.
Okay, so that's how it is. Okay, so you can see the steps mentioned here, that what will be the duration, how the weightage of the actual certification has been divided. For example, payroll processing framework will be 25%, payroll components and calculations will be 25, accounting, banking and income withhold orders 20%, payroll transaction 20%, and the taxes will be the 10%. Okay, you can see the steps here, how the actual proctored exams happens. Okay, so basically whenever somebody is ready, you just have to let me know that you want to go for the certification. Okay, so I'll be the person, I'm the manager here, okay, who takes care for the entire certification process from beginning till the end. Okay, so we will be introducing you to the partner company, and where they will be setting up your Workday community access. Okay, and from there only, through the Workday Learning Center platform, you need to schedule your exams. Okay, now, see, we are the only company, okay, right now who has developed a platform which is called as Practice Test Platform. Okay, I have shared this link also. Okay, you can see in the chat window. Okay, so this platform, it looks like this, where we have all these certifications, practice test questionnaires. This link is also shared in the chat window. Okay, it is in the cohort also. So basically, this practice test platform we have developed, which will cost you $199, which will be giving you 3 attempts to practice. And this practice test platform has been developed in a similar way how the actual proctored exams gets conducted. Okay, so people who have taken this practice test platform, 87% of the people have cleared the certification in the first attempt itself. Okay, so if you go to this link, you can see the people who has directly posted from their LinkedIn and they have cleared the certification. In the cohort also it is there. I'll show you. You can see the links here, okay, where people have directly, you can get them connected on LinkedIn also, where they have clearly showed the post, Apart from this, there are some new more add-ons to here. You can see here the name, Tejaswini, okay. You can see, I just want to give you an example. Okay, so they have cleared the certification. Some of the people, they were new to Workday, they got certified and they got a job, like for example, Sunil Sharma, he was totally new to Workday. Okay, now he has taken the practice test platform, he got certified in Workday integration and he got a job also. You can go and connect with them once. You can directly connect with them through LinkedIn also. Like this is one of the student, Mr. Deepak Kumar, who recently got certification in Procure to Pay for the finance. You can see he got a job also recently. So monthly wise, I would say that ZaranTech is referring almost 50 to 60 people for the certification to the partners. I mean, so most of the people goes for payroll, finance, integration, HCM. These are the modules. Any questions, anybody, in terms of the certification?
Can you just show that to how the percentage of questions?
Yes, absolutely.
I don't know.
We have shared you the docs also. I will show it to you.
Yeah.
Just a second. Yeah. You can go step by step wise. Everything is mentioned in the email, and here you can see 2 hours proctored exam.
Okay.
Yeah. And see, we have developed this platform also for that reason. For example, I will show you. As of now, we are prepared for the Workday U.S. payroll. So weightage wise also we have developed. So there are a lot of people who has taken this test from us and this platform is called as doselect.com, which is called as a practice test platform. We give it to you.
So for the Canadian payroll, do we have the questionnaire?
Okay. I will tell you right now. You can see the list here. Okay. We are coming up with more. As of now, the practice test platform, we have for the US payroll only, but soon we are coming up with all this module. Okay. So that's the thing. Because see, there are a lot of modules. Even there's no limitation. We are coming up with Workday student.
But the payroll admin certification, is it separate for US and separate for Canada, or is it common payroll admin?
No, I believe it's always separate only. It's country wise, yes.
Okay, so when do you expect Canadian to come out?
See, certification, if somebody is willing to take the certification right now, we can help. Okay, that's not a problem. I mean, we can directly refer you to the partner company. But yeah, for the practice test platform, we are working with a developer team and the admin team. They're going to set up soon. But see, these are the modules which we have mentioned. It's always as per the market demand. Yeah, I mean, that's how it is. But yes, definitely we are going to come up with more. There are a lot of modules in Workday, grant management, in finance. A lot of modules are there actually, so which we are going to come up soon at the earliest as possible.
Oh, see here the second one, payroll for admins, it doesn't say that it is US or Canada.
Which one?
It's the second one, this one.
No, see, you have to understand, whenever I talk about country-wise only, okay?
Oh, okay.
Yes, it is as of now, you have. See, certification always remains the same. If you're going for Canada, it will be mentioned as Canadian payroll for administrators. It is like that. I mean, the roles and responsibilities will never change. Only the country-wise, the certifications, it's going to happen in that way.
How many attempts are allowed?
It is one attempt only. See, Workday certification will, it is also explained here. Okay.
No, what I mean is that suppose if you write and if you don't get 80 or 85, whatever is their passing score.
80% for payroll?
80%.
Yes.
Yeah. So then will you be able to attempt second time or no?
Okay, I will tell you. See, these are Workday guidelines. Okay. So $800 means it's a one credit. If you failed, again, you have to pay $800. There is no second attempt.
And then you can pay from the pocket or company has to pay that?
No, see, that is what I'm telling you. Normally, the standard process is you have to work in a Workday partner company and it will be sponsored from the company. It's if you want to pay also, you cannot do. But ZaranTech is the only option right now who is opening the door to you, because ZaranTech right now is officially associated with PeopleFlow. Okay. Who is one of the Workday innovation partner, Signasure, which we recently tied up. Actually, they are the AMS and sales partner. Basically.
So we will pay $199 for the training and $800
Okay, okay, I'll tell
the...
you. Training cost, you can see here in the cohort it is mentioned. Okay.
Okay.
Practice Test is a platform which ZaranTech has built just to help people. Okay.
Correct. Which is 199 and you
yes,
can take three tests.
three attempts. So
Yeah.
why we are giving you 3 attempts? Because we want, see, the motive is to ensure that people
Pass.
should pass, right? So that is the reason we are giving you 3 attempts. We are not giving you 1 attempt in $199. Okay.
Yeah.
Because when you practice something more than 2 to 3 times, right? Obviously you'll get that confidence level also.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that is the main motive. So that's why we told you, right? Whoever has taken the practice test, 87 to 90% of the people have cleared the certification.
And then we have to pay 800 to your partner company or to
That,
you.
see, you have to understand. See, the $800 what you are paying, right? That is the cost of Workday. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
sure.
so you have to understand that. And even though you might be having a questions that after what is the renewal process? Okay, so basically every 2 years, okay, you have to renew the certification, which will cost you 0.25 credits, that is $200.
Okay, and then you have to write exam or renewal. Oh,
Yes,
just a renewal fee.
yes. It's
and if there is an upgrade, they might ask you to.
there is no upgrade option. Either you take the certification pass, and within every 2 years you have to renew. That's it. That is not only for payroll. Any certification you talk about Workday,
you want to keep, So
yes.
Usually it is yearly. They are charging 2 years. That's great.
Yeah. So 0.25. Basically, is for yes. That's how it is. That is for the renewal, only renewal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the thing.
Okay. Thank you.
Any more questions, guys?
Yeah. So once this, in order to do this Workday payroll, do we need to have another certification in core HCM or
no? Okay, I understood. See, normally Workday, everybody, whoever is new to Workday, right? They always start with HCM first. Okay. I have seen consultant coming from Oracle Fusion, PeopleSoft, with having 10 plus, 80 plus years of experience. Okay. See, you have to understand Workday HCM is a core module where that will give you a good depth knowledge if in case you're new to any ERP platform, right? Okay. It is not mandatory that you have to take HCM, then only you can go for the payroll certification. If you have some prior knowledge in payroll in any other ERP platform, definitely you can directly go also for the payroll. It is like that.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes. See, for example, one module is there, HCM data loading. Okay. So if you want to go for that certification, you have to be certified in Workday HCM core. Then only you can go for the certification. So those kind of modules has some prerequisites, but not for this kind of training module, I'm going to say.
Yeah, that was my question. You actually answered already, because when I'm a Workday Pro reporting certified, I had a core HCM course that my company paid for. As you mentioned, I had those credit, purchased and go through that whole course by a live trainer, and then only I could sit in the exam.
Yeah. Because see, the normal process, because see, you can understand for Workday core HCM, Workday charges $6,400. Nobody normally pays that much, right? So that's why we call it, it should be from a company, Workday partner company sponsored only, right? So here the same training you are paying for $699. Okay. So you have to understand ZaranTech is a training provider where we are providing a proper, guidance on the certification. We are giving you the content. Okay. Along with it, we are opening a door for everybody where you can directly go for the certification without having any work experience in Workday. Just with having knowledge, you can go for the certification directly.
If someone has taken the training, then do they need to pay $800 or is it included in the training cost?
See, $800 you're not paying to ZaranTech.
I know.
That is a certification fee which you're directly paying to Workday. So training fee and $800 both are separate thing.
Okay. So let's say, hypothetically speaking, let's say you are part of, let's say, a big implementers. So when they send you for training, does that include the certification or certification is separate?
Okay, see, I have been referred by the partner company, so many people.
Yeah.
Because partner company cannot give you the training, because you have to understand, if they pay for the training, they have to pay $6,400 to Workday.
Okay.
You understood, right?
Yeah.
So, but they can help you for the certification. But They cannot give you the training. So ZaranTech is a platform where we can give you the training. That's how it is.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, not other companies are having these options because our CEO Alok, right? If you go and check his profile, I think a lot of people knows him. He might have appeared in the HCM integration. So he is one of the, one second, I'll just show. He's the partner sales USA for PeopleFlow also. Okay. So that's why ZaranTech is having that options where directly we can refer people for the certification.
Hi. Actually, I have HCM Pro certification already. If I have to renew, because I work for a company and they paid for me everything. So if I have to renew my HCM Pro, what is the best way? Should I go through ZaranTech?
Okay, see, I will tell you. See, when you got certified in Workday Pro HCM certification, which year?
I think I renewed a couple of times.
See, because I'll tell you one thing, if you're going through from one company, right, you cannot change the partner company. Okay. You have to go through the same partner company only. Unless if you're not getting another project with a different partner company, then you have to transfer your certificate from that partner to the current partner. That's how it works. So for example, PeopleFlow is one of the partner, right? You get certified from PeopleFlow. So you'll be having the community access with the PeopleFlow domain, all those things. Okay. Now, for example, if you're getting a project in any other particular partner company under any other partner company, then you have to transfer your certificate from PeopleFlow to that partner company. Because once you transfer, right, your existence with the previous partner company will not be there. Understood? So that's how it is.
Right. Thank you. No, I was wondering, like, do I need to take training?
No, because see, if you're going for payroll, you have to take the training.
Yeah.
That's how it is.
Yeah.
But because HCM, you have said already that you are already certified. So this is a payroll training. You can take the training, and after this, we can help you in the payroll certification. Absolutely, we can do that.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
But
guys,
when I went, last time I went through, they had two chances for exam, but I passed it the first time. And
no, now so it is one attempt only. Ajay, I think it's one attempt only. Yeah, now it is not two attempts, it's one attempt only.
Yeah.
No problem. I just want to, I know there are some changes starting this year, right? For all the certification. Yeah, got it.
So that's how it is.
Thank you.
Guys, any more questions?
Yeah, I wanted to check. I don't know. Sorry, I had to basically drop and join in again. So,
go ahead.
Did you cover the cost of this training for the payroll bit?
Yes, it is there in the cohort actually. You can see the cohort. I think already we have shared. One second. Okay. Yeah, go ahead. You can see here. It's mentioned here, 699 within 2 months of tenant access.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I think everybody has this cohort access. You can go through the docs. It's public.
Yeah, I've downloaded that. Yeah.
Okay.
Go
ahead,
I
please.
have one question. Can the counselor also connect with me later?
Yes, definitely. We will. We will reach out to everybody. Okay, after the session is over.
Regarding subscription.
Okay, that we can discuss offline. After the session is over, we will reach out to everybody. Not to worry.
Not payroll only, but.
Definitely. We will be helping you out. Not to worry. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Okay. This is regarding the payroll. If anybody is having any questions, please go ahead. Then probably after the session is over, the sales team will be connecting you. So anybody has had any questions regarding certification, practice test platform, anything? Okay, guys, then we will conclude the session. I'll just stop sharing my screen. Okay, we'll conclude the session for the day. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.